These people thought it was fine to come against someone like you, a royal one, chosen by God. Now, they're getting a rude awakening. They've been knocked down a few pegs, sitting down like they should have from the start. They had no business coming for you. They should have known better. They spent years around you, yet they still didn't get who you are. That just shows they were never for you. If they didn't see your spirit after all that time, it's clear their problem wasn't with you, it was with themselves. How can someone be around you for years and still not understand your heart and your soul? It's because they weren't really paying attention. They were too wrapped up in their own issues. Now, God has served them a slice of humble pie. When He lifted you up, they had no choice but to sit back and watch. Every plan they had to tear you down failed. They thought their attacks would work, but no weapon formed against you can prosper. God's protection over you is too strong. They're being humbled, watching you rise, and realizing they couldn't touch you. Every attempt they made only made you stronger. Here's what I'm hearing: you're not meant to handle it. You can't stomach what's happening. And when I say you, I mean you. For the people who wronged you, those who hurt you repeatedly, they're the ones who deserve what's coming to them. They might think it's fair, even if it seems harsh to you. Justice isn't just a word, it's like a separate force or creature. It's having its own chat with them. You might have felt the hurt and the heartbreak from their actions, but justice sees everything. It understands their true intentions and how deeply they meant to hurt you. Justice also sees all the pain you didn't have to endure because it was spared from you. You might feel sick about this whole situation. Someone commented on my TikTok story on the last day of 2023, saying, "The last day of justice." But Spirit told me, no, it's the first day, or the last day is the first. That really hit me deeply. What Spirit is making clear today is that justice can be very harsh. It doesn't give up or back off until it has done exactly what it was meant to do. Justice moves slowly, but once it starts, it doesn't stop. It's relentless until it has served what's been earned. And the energy has flipped. You see, those who have for so long held back their apology, they've held back the accountability that they so desperately needed to claim. It's all shifted. Now justice does very few things to people who have done you wrong when it begins. Their mind gets shifted. It's a shifting of energy that takes place. It's not a punishment, it's a shift. It's an internal shift that comes with realization, that comes with perhaps not taking outward accountability, but inward accountability. That's beginning today. And for so long, the energies that have been very stubborn, very unchanging, unwilling to recognize their wrongdoing, today is the beginning of their freedom. Today marks the start of a big shift. It's the beginning of people letting go of their need to protect their egos. At the same time, it's like taking a pause in your life. There are important things that need to change, contracts that need to be torn up, relationships that need to end, and old patterns that need to be broken. Today is the first day of making those changes happen. In simple terms, it's like ending old chapters and closing old doors. As I mentioned in my last video, it's now clear that you're visible again. And I don't think this video will be long, because just thinking about it makes me feel a bit sick to my stomach. I'm feeling that strong reaction right now. I'm hearing that all those polite wishes from the past, like "I hope you have a great day" or "I hope your life is joyful even without me," were not as sincere as they seemed. Spirit is causing a big change inside these people. They're no longer on their high horses, even though they acted like they were above you when you never were. People are starting to see their true selves clearly. The pretending and identity theft that was so common in the past is coming to an end, starting from yesterday but really kicking in today. Now, there's no room for them to keep up their fake fronts. Everything they've hidden is coming to the surface. When this change happens, you might find yourself in a position where you're actually asking for mercy from your former enemies. I never thought I'd say that, but it's happening. It's becoming real, and you might see it unfold soon. You have a heart that's as big and soft as a marshmallow. You care deeply for everyone, even those who have hurt you. When someone wrongs you, you might feel anger or sadness that can make it hard to see your own kindness. But even when these feelings bubble up, your true, loving nature is still there, shining brightly. Now, justice has arrived, and it's here to balance the scales. Think of justice like a coin with two sides. The side you see depends on your actions. If you've done good, you'll see the good side. If you've acted badly, you'll see the other side. The people who hurt you when you were struggling, those who called you needy or unstable, are starting to face the truth. They had been kept from seeing things as they really are. This protection from the truth was actually meant to teach you something important. It was all part of a bigger plan to help you grow. You needed to let go of some of your power and stop fighting so hard against everything. Sometimes, letting go is about accepting that you might not get the answers or closure you were hoping for. These people didn't give you what you deserved because, in a way, they were too good to do so. It's like they were holding back from fully confronting the truth. Now, as justice unfolds, it's time for you to see things clearly. The truth is coming out, and the change is real. Embrace this shift. It's an opportunity to understand the bigger picture and move forward with a clearer view of what's next. They made you feel unimportant because they were protected from your true light. They saw their own flaws when they looked at you and mistook them for your reality. They treated you badly because they believed you were less than them. To them, you were just an option, something they could use and mistreat without any consequences. They thought you would always be there, willing to take whatever they dished out. But here's the truth, you were the one giving love, even when they didn't deserve it. They took advantage of your kindness and used it against you. You are pure love, but you needed to learn how to love yourself more. You had to learn to set boundaries and stand up for yourself. It was time to show a different side of yourself. Sometimes, you needed to be firm, even tough. You had to balance the kindness you give with a bit of strength and resilience. This darker side, which helps you protect yourself, is part of who you are too. By finding this balance, you can stand strong and protect your heart. It's about knowing your worth and not letting others take advantage of your love and kindness. For so long, you've been caught in a cycle of trying to make others happy, even when it meant putting yourself last. Whenever you tried to stand up for yourself or say no, people tried to make you feel guilty. They used sneaky, backhanded comments to make you feel like you were being selfish or bad for choosing yourself. It was like they were trying to twist your mind, making you doubt your own worth and choices. Whenever you even thought about standing up for yourself, people pushed back hard. They'd say things like, "Who do you think you are? You always give so much. If you're not going to give a lot more, I won't even bother with you." It felt like you could never win. No matter what you did, it seemed like you were always in the wrong. You had to reach a point where you were okay with being alone, even though it felt like you were surrounded by monsters. It was a crushing feeling, like being broken into tiny pieces. It made you feel like there was no one who truly had your back. You were forced to confront the harsh truth about the people around you, and it was a painful awakening. Spirit had to ask you, are you ready to face the truth about who you've been dealing with? And now, Spirit is asking again, are you ready for justice to be served? Your enemies have been waiting, doubting that any real justice would come. They've mocked not just you, but the very idea of fairness and love. They thought they could get away with their actions without consequences. Now, things are about to change. The truth is coming out, and justice is on its way. Those who wronged you are going to face the reality of their actions. They will see their own reflection for what it truly is. No more hiding behind masks or pretending to be something they're not. The shift is happening, and it's real. The justice they thought would never come is finally arriving, and it's going to be clear and undeniable. The unfairness has gone on for so long that these people started to believe the world was always on their side, that everything was made just for them. They got so used to this unfair advantage that it became part of them, deep in their bones. But here's the twist: when justice comes, they won't question it. They'll accept it as they should. You, however, will be the one asking, is this really necessary? It's been a long time. Do they need to suffer this much? Spirit says, no, you don't see the whole picture. You only saw what you needed to see to make yourself a priority. You didn't see the full extent of their actions or the full impact. You saw just enough to make your own choices and move forward. Justice, on the other hand, is a force all its own. It's not human. It's like a powerful angel or a fierce beast that operates on its own rules. You don't want to get in its way. If there were a perfect world where everyone got along and no one had to face justice, that would be amazing. But that's not the reality. Sometimes, people, including you, have to face the consequences of their actions. Justice is about to take its course, and it's not going to be gentle. It's going to be clear and powerful, and you might feel a bit shocked by how it unfolds. It's cold, unyielding, and fair in its own way. You might wonder if it's too harsh, but remember, justice sees everything, even the things you couldn't. Chosen one, you've already faced your share of justice. You might have figured out quickly why you went through tough times. You pulled yourself together, made the right choices, and took responsibility before things got worse. But some people need more than just a wake-up call. They need a big, loud gavel to smack down over and over, maybe even their whole lives, to make them face their own egos. That's what's going to happen to them. A couple of days ago, I made a video talking about clearing out the space where resistance lives. Your time has come, although it might feel like it's been a long time coming. Even if you're not sure, you will push aside that resistance in your heart. You'll let go of it because, yes, watching what happens might make you feel sick inside. You won't want to see it, and that's okay. Spirit is telling you that this part is now behind you. You don't have to keep your eyes on it. You can move on. You can let go and focus on your own path. You don't. And this part is necessary for you to see, because once that justice is being carried out, a part of you is going to be unburdened. Not because somebody's being punished on your behalf, no, but because you're going to finally realize that you were faced with a lot of pain that you weren't even allowed to embody, that you weren't even allowed to actually say, sit down and heal. Acknowledge that you were hurt. You see, you've sat around and you patted people's tears dry when they've gone through perhaps even a quarter of what you went through. Not to compare pain, but nobody patted you dry. Nobody hugged you for real.